The HAN Network, the leader in local news, sports, arts, and entertainment in southwestern Connecticut.
This is your coffee break on the HAN Network.
It's Monday, October 5th, and this is your coffee break. I'm Kate Czaplinski, bringing you today's headlines, including a drug search at Wilton High School, a man exposing himself on a local running trail, and much more. We'll also have a look at this day in history with Donald Ang, and Rob Adams will be giving us a look at high school sports. But first, on to the news this morning. A police canine will be searching for drugs this week at Wilton High School. The Wilton Board of Education voted last spring to approve the use of canines as part of its efforts to ensure a safe school climate. Part of that vote includes the board informing students, staff, parents, and the community in advance of the first search. The first search, which will be scheduled at Wilton High for October 9th at 9:30 a.m. To minimize disruption, the Wilton Police Department and high school administration will conduct the search while students are normally in class. There will be several police canine teams involved in the process, and it should be completed within the time span of one of the morning's classes. There will also be notices informing the student body of the October 9th search date and the time posted on every doorway into the school prior to the search happening. School officials say that if this initiative saves just one child's life or keeps one additional child from experimenting with drugs, then it is well worth the effort. This will be the first of many sweeps, and future searches will not be as broadly publicized, if at all, according to school officials. Well, a man wearing a fake Santa beard robbed a State Street beauty salon early Sunday evening and then fled the scene in a gray Dodge Caravan, according to the Connecticut Post. The armed robbery happened around 7 o'clock at Paradise Beauty Salon at 763 State Street, and police were looking for a Hispanic male. Scanner reports indicated that the getaway vehicle could be linked to a similar armed robbery that happened in the city on Saturday. Well, on Saturday, the Shelton police arrested 52-year-old Stratford man for allegedly exposing himself on a jogging trail. Richard Hammond was arrested and charged with breach of peace in the second degree and public indecency. The arrest stems from a complaint that the Shelton police received on May 10th when a jogger approached a patrol officer and stated that he had been running in the Shelton trails in the area of Shelton Avenue when he saw a man on the trail with no pants on. The jogger stated the man gestured at him, then ran off into the woods. Patrol officers located Hammond in the trails, and after detectives investigated the incident, it was determined that he was the man that the jogger saw with no pants on. Hammond is a registered sex offender and has been since 1998. Police charged a Milford man with risk of injury to a minor for allegedly leaving a 15-month-old child home alone while he allegedly walked around the neighborhood to get drunk. Police said that around 8:30 at night on October 4th, they responded to the area of Melba Street near Beachland Avenue on the report of an intoxicated man roaming the neighborhood. Investigation led to the arrest of Jason DeMonte, who's 31 years old, and he's accused of leaving his child unattended in an unsecured home for over an hour, police said. His bond was set at $75,000. Well, the body of Saint Maria Goretti has arrived in the United States as part of a 2-month tour and will make its only visit to Connecticut at St. Teresa Church in Trumbull Tuesday, October 6th. Part of the Pilgrimage of Mercy tour, the major relic will travel around the country from September to early November. It is the first time that the body has traveled to America and only the second time that it's left Italy. Public veneration of Saint Maria will begin at 10 a.m. at the Catholic Church and run through 11:45 at night. There will be a mass to honor the saint around 7 that evening, and according to Father Brian Gannon, the event will probably go past midnight, and they're ready for that. The churches that have already hosted the saint have experienced thousands, he said. We expect to have a constant flow of people coming into the church on Tuesday. In preparation for the large crowds, the church has expanded parking to be available on the Main Street location as well as nearby athletic fields. They expect thousands to be coming from beginning to the end of the veneration period. The body made its first public appearance on September 21st at the Sacred Heart Basilica in Newark, New Jersey. As of the latest scheduling, the saint's body will tour through 25 Catholic dioceses spanning 18 states in several different parishes. In Darien, a radar detector was stolen from a car parked at BMW of Darien on September 19th. Police have identified a suspect based on witness accounts and video surveillance at the scene. They say an unknown man had entered the car dealership at about 10 or 11 in the morning, asking about having a second key programmed for his vehicle. Police said he spent a significant amount of time at the dealership, inquiring about new and used vehicles and walking around to the rear of the dealership. When stopped by an employee, the man said he was looking for used cars and was directed back to the front. He then drove his car to the rear lot and again was directed to head back to the front. Around this time, the radar, valued at about $400, went missing from the car of a 31-year-old Fairfield man. The car had been unlocked at the time. Surveillance showed the suspected man walking near the vehicle, but there was no footage of the car actually being entered. He was described as a white man of unknown size and age, with tattoos on both arms and a scruffy appearance. He was driving a BMW S6 with a New York registration. Darien police say the investigation is ongoing. Well, the Ridgefield Planning and Zoning Commission has approved a large dredging operation at a pond of the Hickories that could lead to expanded agricultural offerings. The commission on September 1st approved a special permit for the farm operator to dredge 3,500 cubic yards from the pond. Dina Brewster, who operates the farm owned by her father, Carol Brewster, at 126 Lounsbury Road, said the dredged material will be reused as topsoil. It will be spread over the surface of the farm, which features 30 acres of organic fruits and vegetables. Some of the produce is sold from a farm stand on the property that is open 7 days a week during the season. The renewed larger pond can then be used for irrigation. Brewster said she is working out a business plan to stock farm-bred fish in the pond and make them available to customers who would pay to fish there. She hopes to complete that business plan next spring. It would probably involve freshwater fish of a large enough size for eating and charging customers to fish them out of the pond. Rob Adams, that sounds like it could be a good future story for our Yankee fisherman, John Kovach.
Absolutely true. Kate, would be perfect for JK to jump right on top of that story because it's all about the fishing with the Yankee fisherman. I'm guessing maybe we want to talk a little weather. What do we think?
Let's talk weather. How's it going out there today?
Well, I wish it was going a little bit better, but it is dry compared to what we went through on Friday, and my goodness, over the weekend. And, certainly thoughts go to everybody down in the Carolinas. Quite a crazy weekend for the folks, especially in South Carolina. Columbia and Charleston really just got hit so very hard. But today we've got a partly sunny day, and I hope so. It's not quite there yet, a high of 63. The wind a little heavy, northeast 10 to 13, so a little strong. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low around 49 with a north wind around 6, becoming calm in the evening, so keep bundling up. I know it was right around 44 up where I live. Mostly sunny, a high near 69 for Tuesday, mostly clear and a low 51 for Tuesday night. Wednesday, I like this, sunny, 72 with a light wind increasing to 5 to 10. Doesn't this just sound nice? Mostly clear, 49 for Wednesday night, sunny and 64 for Thursday, and a 40% chance of showers as we look to Friday, a high of 66. Right now, Shelton has 56 degrees, Darien has 58, and Ridgefield has 57 degrees. So not bad, Kate.
No, not bad at all. All right, thanks, Rob. Well, Rob's going to be joining us when we come back after this break to talk high school sports, and we're also going to have a look back on this day in history with Donald Ang. So that and a lot more is coming up on your coffee break after this.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
Alliance. We are an industry leader in coordinating transportation for large events such as corporate road shows, conferences, and special events. Our team of experts understands the dynamics and logistics of high-pressure situations and complex arrangements, all within a rapidly changing environment. Since 1999, we have added charter jets, event management, and personal protection to our range of services. Mention this ad for $25 off your next round-trip reservation. Alliance and you. Together, we can achieve the extraordinary. 855-546-6996 or alliancelimo.com.
While the temperatures are cooling down, the fall bite is heating up. albies, bonita, blackfish, alligator blues, and stripers are following the large schools of bait that are abundant in the Long Island Sound. If you love the New England coast during autumn, this is the time to be on the water. The latest from Shimano, Quantum, Avet, Hoagie, Phase 2 and more are in stock and ready to go at the dock shop. And don't mind those fall breezes with jackets, hats, gloves, and fleece from Grundens and Stormer. The dock shop will keep you warm and dry. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The dock shop, now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
It's time to come back to hometown banking, where people are taken into account, not just balances, where community comes first, a place where there's more than one kind of interest, where automation will never replace consideration, where they not only know your name, they know your dog's name too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well.
Highcote Rockefeller Estate is Westchester County's top cultural attraction and is now open for the season. Don't miss out. Go online to hudsonvalley.org to plan your visit. Take a drive out to beautiful Sleepy Hollow, New York, and enjoy Highcote's stunning architecture, breathtaking gardens, expansive art galleries, and commanding Hudson River views. From world-class art by Picasso and Warhol to expertly tended gardens, there's something for everyone. Highcote Rockefeller Estate, a National Trust for Historic Preservation landmark. Back to school means back to busy, and Stewart's Market can save you precious time by stocking all of your favorite essentials under one roof. For a healthy start to school, we have all the ingredients. Walter Stewart's, your family-owned fresh local market, 229 Elm Street and at stewartsmarket.com.
Tired of all the bull? Relax and enjoy the experience of buying a car at Panby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram. No bull allowed.
Have no fear. HAN Network's Fast Frights movie contest is here. Can your film make the cut? Submit your 3-minute scary movie today for a chance to win a DJI Phantom 3 drone, sponsored by Milford Photo. The only thing to fear is missing the deadline.
And we're back on this Monday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, throwing it over to Donald Ang now for a look back on this day in history. Don?
Well, Kate, it was the first time movie audiences had a Walter PP pointed at them, but not the last time. We'll get to that in a second. 1582. This date actually does not exist in Italy, Poland, Portugal, and Spain because of the implementation of the Gregorian calendar. The calendar shortened the previous Julian calendar by about 0.002%, about 3 days every 400 years. The Julian calendar had caused the date of Easter to drift by about 11 days over the 13th century since the Council of Nicaea. Pope Gregory XIII then corrected the date by decreeing that the day after October 4th, 1582, would be October 15th. 1582. 1877, Chief Joseph surrenders the Nez Perce Band to General Nelson Miles. The band of about 750 had left their desolate Oklahoma reservation and was attempting to travel 1,200 miles to political asylum in Canada. They were pursued by U.S. cavalry, and after a devastating 5-day battle, Joseph surrendered less than 40 miles from the border. His surrender speech, legendary for its honest, heartbroken words, concluding with the line, "I am tired, my heart is sick and sad. From here, where the sun now stands, I will fight no more forever." On a happier note, 1955, the Disneyland Hotel opens in Anaheim as a motor lodge. At the time of its construction, Disneyland was in a remote area outside of the city. Walt Disney had wanted to build a hotel for Disneyland visitors to stay overnight, since it was a bit of a drive from the established population centers of Southern California. But Disney's financial resources were severely depleted by building the park. The Disney Corp would eventually buy the hotel in 1988, and finally, 1962 was the first time we saw this. That, of course, as we look down a gun barrel at Sean Connery. That 1962 Dr. No, the first James Bond film, is released. Dr. No was produced on a low budget, but was a financial success. Critical reaction was mixed, but over time it has gained a reputation as one of the series' best installments. The film was a first of a 23 Bond film run, all of which have essentially the same plot. Bond thwarts Dr. No's plan of world dominion. With that, you look back in history, and I'm Donald Ing.
All right. Thanks, Don. Now it's time to throw it over to Rob Adams for a look at high school sports. Rob.
All right, Kate, thank you very much, and good morning, everyone. Don, thanks to you as well. We dive into looking at the scoreboard from over the weekend, as we had plenty of high school football, including right here on the HAN network. And yes, we have all just dried out from a very wet Friday at Staples High School. The Staples Wreckers with a 35-15 win over Fairfield Ward. Now, no one had 6 touchdowns in the game, so there is that. However, Ethan Berger did have 3 scores, prompting Eric Gendron to send me a note to advise me to call him, yes, the Triple Burger. We move on to other scores. It was Stanford in a good win over McMahon, 26-22, arguably the game of the night. Greenwich with a 42-0 win over Bridgeport Central. Ridgefield knocked off Norwalk 24-15. Also, Fairfield Prep over Law, 42-0. Cheshire 16, Amity 12. Daniel Hand took care of Brantford 33-6. 4-28, Guilford 7. Shelton by 10 over Notre Dame of West Haven 17-7. And West Haven put it all over on Hill House 55-22. Brookfield over Barlow 34-6. And also Massac losing to New Fairfield 41-13, Bunnell 34, Weston 14, Newtown by 42 over Bethel. To Saturday games, Trinity Catholic got another win over Trumbull. They win 33-20. It was St. Joe's beating Danbury 23-10, Wilton 17, Fairfield Ludlow 7 on a very busy weekend. And there's one game today, actually, as West Hill and New Canaan decided to move their game to today at 5:30 at Dunning, so they will be there for that one. The boys soccer, it's Ridgefield and New Canaan at 4 o'clock, so it looks like you get yourself a big old double header, depending on where they're playing today, of course, at New Canaan High School. I'm not sure all that's going to take place at Dunning. Girls soccer, it's Warden Greenwich, West Hill at Stanford, Trinity Catholic home for Central, Staples is at Ludlow, Wilton at Danbury, New Canaan at Ridgefield, and Norwalk at Trumbull. Field hockey, Trumbull at West Hill, Greenwich at McMahon, and Darien is at Ridgefield, dare I say, which we will have for you right here on the HAN network. Game time is 4 o'clock. We'll be with you just before. Mike Suppy joining me for the call. From girls volleyball, Danbury at Trumbull, West Hill and New Canaan, Stanford hosting Trinity Catholic, St. Joe's and Staples, Norwalk at Darien, Central at McMahon, Ward at Ridgefield, Wilton is at Ludlow. Girls swimming and diving, Darien is at Greenwich. So, as always, very busy around the sports world. Plenty of it worth talking about. A couple of games coming up for this week. As I mentioned already, we've got Ridgefield and Darien. We'll go to we'll see Greenwich and Stanford tomorrow in boys soccer, either in Boyle Stadium or just behind Boyle Stadium, but we'll be there tomorrow for that. And then Friday, we go to Danbury High School, and we'll watch Stanford take on Danbury. So, a good week of sports coming up, but it's always a good week of sports. As we send it back over with sports, I'm Rob Adams. Back over to Kate.
Thanks, Rob. Well, getting back to some of the news today, a Trumbull Senior Center that combines the features of a traditional community center to create programs and space for all ages was the consensus among about 30 Trumbull residents who attended a public hearing that was hosted by the Trumbull Senior Community and Library Study Building Committee, and that was held last Monday. Jamie Bratt, the town's Director of Economic Development, moderated the discussion, which heard 15 speakers voice their ideas and concerns about the proposed project. While the library is part of the study to create a new multi-purpose building in town, public speakers and town officials rejected the idea that the project needed to combine all three facilities. Comments from town council members Vicky Tesoro and Cindy Penkoff and Board of Finance member Lainey McHugh mirrored the suggestions made from the public that a combined senior community center was a good idea. Some residents were, however, concerned that seniors might prefer to have a place restricted to their age group, but most of the opinions on this subject advocated that seniors would benefit from the proximity to children and that separate space within the building would suffice. Joe Pifko and Dan Marconi, the committee's co-chairman, told the Trumbull Times Tuesday that the bipartisan group had visited many of the senior centers in nearby towns like Monroe, Shelton, Fairfield, and Greenwich. The committee often spent 5 to 6 hours per visit. He added that the group now needs input from the people of Trumbull. You can get a lot more on that story at TrumbullTimes.com. The Connecticut Department of Economic and Community Development is providing almost $2 million in grants to 20 nonprofit organizations that sponsor cultural and historic sites in the state, and one of those will be the Milford Arts Council, which will receive a $60,000 state grant. Through the Good to Great program administered by the DECD, offices of arts and historic preservation grants are being awarded to eligible organizations that promote science, art, culture, or the history of Connecticut. The Milford Arts Council Center for the Arts is a restored Civil War-era building and is on the National Historic Register. Every year, the MAC presents community theater, live music, concerts with international, regional, and local talent, classes, workshops, and a lot more. Good to Great was created in 2013 to fund improvements that will significantly enhance cultural and historic sites and the way that people enjoy them. Funding, which ranges from $50,000 to $125,000 grants, can be used on a variety of activities, including construction. There is a lot more on that story at milfordmirror.com. Going to throw it back over to Rob Adams now for another look at today's weather. Rob?
And we've got hopefully a pretty good one today, Kate. We've got a partly sunny day with a high near 63, but again, the wind could be a problem, and when you're playing field hockey, that could be an issue. Northeast wind 10 to 13. Partly cloudy, a low 49 tonight. The wind will die down a bit, 6 becoming calm in the evening out of the north. Mostly sunny, a high near 69 for Tuesday. Clear and 51 for tomorrow night. Sunny, 72 for Wednesday, while we drop down to 49 on Wednesday night. Sunny and 64 for Thursday. More of the same, partly cloudy, low around 49 for Thursday night. Chance of showers, 40% on Friday with a high near 66. But the weekend looks, meh. Partly sunny, partly cloudy, but too soon to get too concerned about just yet. And remember, could have been a lot worse. Joaquin took that nice right turn out in the ocean, so fortunately, we're not dealing with Joaquin. We have 56 in Shelton. Darien has 58, and a lovely 57 degrees in Ridgefield, Kate.
All right. Thanks, Rob. When we come back, we're going to recap some of the top stories this morning, so that is coming up on your coffee break after this.
Highcote Rockefeller Estate is Westchester County's top cultural attraction and is now open for the season. Don't miss out. Go online to hudsonvalley.org to plan your visit. Take a drive out to beautiful Sleepy Hollow, New York, and enjoy Highcote's stunning architecture, breathtaking gardens, expansive art galleries, and commanding Hudson River views. From world-class art by Picasso and Warhol to expertly tended gardens, there's something for everyone. Highcote Rockefeller Estate, a National Trust for Historic Preservation landmark. Back to school means back to busy, and Stewart's Market can save you precious time by stocking all of your favorite essentials under one roof. For a healthy start to school, we have all the ingredients. Walter Stewart's, your family-owned fresh local market, 229 Elm Street and at stewartsmarket.com.
Tired of all the bull? Relax and enjoy the experience of buying a car at Panby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram. No bull allowed.
Have no fear. HAN Network's Fast Frights movie contest is here. Can your film make the cut? Submit your 3-minute scary movie today for a chance to win a DJI Phantom 3 drone, sponsored by Milford Photo. The only thing to fear is missing the deadline.
And we're back with this Monday, October 5th edition of your Coffee Break, taking a look at some of our top headlines today. A police canine will be searching for drugs this week at Wilton High School. The Wilton Board of Education voted last spring to approve the use of canines as part of its efforts to ensure a safe school climate. Part of that decision includes the board informing students, staff, and parents in advance of the first search, and that first search is now scheduled for October 9th at 9:30 a.m. To minimize disruption, the Wilton Police Department and high school administration will conduct the search while the students are normally in class. There will be several police canine teams involved in the process, and it should be completed within the time span of one of the morning's classes. There will also be notices informing the student body of the October 9th date and time of the search, and those will be posted on every doorway in the school prior to the search. School officials say that if this initiative saves just one child's life or keeps one child from experimenting with drugs, then it was well worth the effort. This will be the first of many sweeps, and future ones will not be publicized as broadly or at all, school officials say. Well, in Bridgeport, a man wearing a fake Santa beard robbed a State Street beauty salon early Sunday evening and fled the scene in a gray Dodge Caravan, the Connecticut Post reports. The armed robbery happened around 7 o'clock at night at Paradise Beauty Salon on State Street, and police were looking for a Hispanic male. Scanner reports indicated the getaway vehicle could be linked to similar armed robberies in the city on Saturday. In Shelton, the police arrested a 52-year-old Stratford man Saturday for allegedly exposing himself on a jogging trail. Richard Hammond was charged with breach of peace in the second degree and public indecency. The arrest stems from a complaint that the Shelton police received on May 10th when a jogger approached a patrol officer and stated that he was running in the Shelton Trails area near Shelton Avenue when he saw a man on the trail with no pants on and his genitals exposed. The jogger stated the man gestured at him, then ran off into the woods. Patrol officers later located Hammond in the trails area, and after detectives investigated the incident, they determined he was the man the jogger saw. Hammond is a registered sex offender and has been since 1998. Milford police charged a local man with risk of injury to a minor for allegedly leaving a 15-month-old child home alone while he walked around his neighborhood to get drunk. Police said that around 8:30 p.m. Sunday night, they responded to the area of Melba Street near Beachland Avenue on the report of an intoxicated man roaming the neighborhood. Investigation led them to the arrest of 31-year-old Jason DeMonte, who is accused of leaving his child unattended in an unsecured home for over an hour, police said. His bond was set at $75,000. Well, the body of a Catholic saint, Maria Goretti, has arrived in the United States as part of a 2-month tour and is making its only visit to Connecticut at St. Teresa Church on Main Street, Tuesday, October 6th. Part of the Pilgrimage of Mercy tour, the major relics will travel around the country from September to early November. It is the first time that her body has traveled to America, and it is only the second time it has left Italy. Public veneration of St. Maria will begin at 10 a.m. at Trumbull St. Teresa and run through 11:45 at night. There will also be a mass to honor the saint around 7 that evening. According to Father Brian Gannon, they expect the veneration to go well past midnight. They're ready for it to go all night. He said the churches that have already hosted the saint have experienced thousands of people, and they're expecting a constant flow of people coming in. In preparation for the large crowds, St. Teresa has expanded parking to be available on its Main Street location as well as nearby athletic fields. All right, time to throw it over to Rob Adams for one last look at today's weather. Rob?
And as we've moved along through this half hour, the sun has made its way a little more prominently outside, so we're excited about that. Partly sunny, a high near 63. Partly cloudy tonight, low 49. Mostly sunny, 69 for Tuesday. For Tuesday night, a low of 51 degrees. Sunny and 72 for Wednesday. Looking to Thursday, sunny and a high near 54. Sitting right around 57 in Shelton. Darien has moved up to 59, and it's 58 in Ridgefield, Kate.
All right. Thanks so much, Rob. Well, coming up at 2 o'clock, of course, is Nutmeg Sports with Rob and Don. And I'll be back tomorrow at 11. That's going to do it for today's coffee break. Have a great day.
This is the HAN Network, the leader for local news, sports, arts, and entertainment in southwestern Connecticut and beyond.